Hi, this is Paul. As many of you know, I have all these little sayings that are in my videos. And one of them is hierarchies bind and blind. And I say that often. And I sort of know it intuitively because I watch people and I watch how once you sort of travel up a hierarchy, usually of wealth, of status, of attention, of fame, of power, you're increasingly disconnected from the little people. And again, this is sort of folk wisdom. This is common knowledge in the culture. But in a lot of people have sent me this video, the psychological drivers of the meta crisis, John Vervaeke, Ian McGilchrist, and Daniel Smachtenberger. There's a ton of stuff in this video. It's a really nice video in terms of if you want to get a sense of the main projects of these men sort of distilled. They're all sort of at their peak in this video, speaking with a lot of clarity and with a lot of compactness. But here in this video, John Vervaeke made my hierarchies bind and blind point. One of the things that I picked up in the Chris Williamson, Jordan Peterson conversation is Chris Williamson, who's sort of been becoming kind of an encyclopedist of wisdom, of modern wisdom from all these talks he does with people. He also notes that it needs to be mimetic. It needs to be turned into a meme. It has to be something that sort of has a sense to it. And so hierarchies bind and blind. But then John Vervaeke makes this observation in this video, which I think is exactly to the same point.
And one of the things that happens, for example, as people go up, this is an experiment, as people go up a corporate structure, and corporate structures tend to favor people who have sociopathic tendencies. What you also see is a measurable decrease in the ability of them to take the perspective of other individuals.
Yeah.
The ability to take the perspective of other individuals is strongly predictive of how many deep connections you can form in your life. So they are actually suffering a very profound kind of scarcity as they go up. If you'll allow me to coin it, they're suffering connectedness scarcity in a profound way. And what I've been fascinated with is the number, and I'm sure this is happening to both of you, the number of people who are in these positions and positions of power who have reached out to me and said, I feel disconnected. And there's that element of almost of horror and absurdity. I feel disconnected and I want to be, and I don't, and the people I talk to in Silicon Valley, I don't want my kids to go through this. I don't want my kids to go. And this is what I mean. There is alternative motivations to, and I think they have also an evolutionary provenance to the game theoretic motivations. And I don't think the game theoretic motivations are metaphysically necessary. I think there are other ones that have an equal power to motive, and because we have historical evidence, we have current evidence that we can tap into those. But I think there's two poles to this. For us to fall in love with being again, that's the agent pole. But the world as an arena in which we can act, it has to be sacred to us. Sacred is how the world is to us when we are falling in love with it.
Okay, I wanna go.
So hierarchies bind and blind, and I think that was a great. I think that. How does the meme and the description or the science or the sociology or the cognitive science connect to it? I'm not quite sure, but hierarchies bind and blind.